everybody, and welcome to the 2022 edition of the Cool Duck here at Ardsley Curling Club. Special thanks to Jeff Greenberg and Stefan for leading the ceremonies this week, and of course our piper, who always looks the part. Also, thank you to Dave Schroll and Tim Klein for taking care of the ice all weekend, and the scores of volunteers who helped with the food and the entertainment all weekend as well. It's been another great year. Of course, the Cool Duck has morphed into more of a competitive event in that the winner of every year's Cool Duck goes on to the National 5 and Under Championship, site yet to be determined. This year, the contenders for that final spot are the Team Misfits, a combination of Nashville and Peachtree Curling Club curlers, and they will be squaring off against Team Madison from beautiful Madison, Wisconsin. We will be announcing that game, but also giving you scores for the other two sheets. From your left to right, sheet A is going to be Team Yellow is Stieffenhofer from Bucks County Curling Club, and they will be playing against Nutmeg, called Duck Ness. And on sheet C, all the way to the right-hand side of your screen, the Yellowstones will be played by Nisky Business, which is from Schenectady Curling Club. And the Redstones will be played by one of by Steel, two of by Hammer. And that is obviously a reference to the Boston area. Good luck to all those teams. Throwing Yellowstones will be Team Madison, skipped by Dave Dickinson. Eric England is the vice, and there has been a change in the order. I believe John Miller will be throwing lead stones because we have a substitution. Somebody who was on the IR, and Austin Benish will be throwing second stones for Team Madison. Austin actually hails from the Milwaukee Curling Club. Thanks to Milwaukee for bringing him along. A huge save for Team Madison. Redstones is away. Red again is Team Misfits. Their lead is Tom from Nashville, and Matt Appisos, they all call him Applesauce, from Peachtree, will be second. The vice is Justin Lanfield, or Canfield, depending on how he wants to pronounce it, or Canefield from Nashville. And the skip is Josh Newborn from Peachtree. John Miller's first is on his way. So that, I believe, is just biting the 12-foot. It looks like it might be a very quick first end here. Tom's second stone is on the way. It looks like they're going to be throwing a corner guard at the other side. We just scraped and nipped, so the sheets should be fairly up to speed. And I'm joined here by Jeff Greenberg, one of the commanders-in-chief this weekend. Jeff, thanks so much for another great weekend.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of on the ice and off the ice events.
So what's the verbiage you use out there when you say good curling? You say anything else? We can't really hear in here.
Oh, you couldn't hear me out there? Well, I realized I should have written something ahead of time. I basically said congratulations to everyone for making it to the finals, and that it was great that we're starting to see some teams from clubs that we don't often get at our Bonspiels here. And, we like expanding and getting as much variety of clubs represented as possible. And, I also mentioned that this has always been known as one of the fun spiels in the country. And even though it is now a national qualifier for the 5 and under national championships, we still try to emphasize that it is meant to be a fun sport. And, we try to, really emphasize people having a good time while they're here, as we do at all our bonspiels.
So Team Misfits is looking like they've guarded the front, and now Madison is their second, is now look like he's going to peel this. Might be a little wide. They're pushing it over. Oh, just missed. So Jeff, what are some of the other teams that were here this weekend?
Oh, well, I don't have the list on me, so I'm going to have to try and remember everything. We had a couple other. Well, we have one Nutmeg team. Oh, John's handing me the list right now, so that helps. We had. Did you go over who won the D event this morning?
No, we should do that.
Yeah. So this morning, in our 10 a.m. draw, was our D event final, which is really the third and fourth place teams. The way our draw schedule is set up, the D event are made up of the teams that made it to the A semifinals before losing. And the runner-up of the D event was Dickinson Stones out of Nutmeg. They were skipped by Nate Holm, with Ryan Heidi playing vice, Stephen Dulski at second, and Paul Douglas at lead.
This is a nice hit and roll by Team Madison, and they're going to roll all the way over to the edge of the 12-foot. That'll be a hard stone to remove. Sorry, Jeff, go on.
That's okay. And the winner of the D event this morning was an Ardsley team called Nate and Friends, skipped by Nate O'Reilly with Stefan Benkowski, who was also the co-organizer of this event with me. Stefan was playing vice, Mike Horowitz playing second, and Jim Bilodeau at lead. So congratulations to both of those teams. We had a returning team from Long Island called the Underducks. We had a Potomac team, Big Duck Energy. I think that's a little pun there.
Yeah, we won't go there.
No.
Oh, just a little too heavy by the Misfit team. They pushed their own stone through the house, so it's still yellow lying one, and it looks like they're attempting to split the house behind the center guard.
We also had another Bucks County team in addition to the Stieffenhofer team that's out there now. Actually, it was a split team between Bucks and Potomac called Buck, 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 Goose. In addition to that, we had Duck, Duck, Ness. So we had Buck, 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 Goose and Duck, Duck, Ness. So it was got a little confusing at times. We had two teams from Diamond State this year. Release the Quacken, and what was the other team's name? I can't recall. The Mai Tai Ducks.
It's a missed opportunity by Madison. They threw one through the house. The ice has been scraped and nipped again, so I would imagine you're going to see whatever team gets used to the ice first here, the first couple ends are going to have a huge advantage. And this one looks like it's heading to... Is it going to stick around, Jeff? No, it's going to roll out. But they did get that difficult takeout on that yellow stone, so no stones in the house. Red has some opportunity to hide some rocks unless Madison gets there first. Madison's vice, Eric England is now set to throw his first, I believe. Or second, looks like his second. You had an Albany team here, and
Yep, we had one Albany team. We had Plainfield, of course. As usual. We always get some Plainfield teams up here.
Oh, just didn't get the roll, so still an open house.
We had a second Long Island team. We had one team where the 4 players were made up of 4 different clubs. One from Lone Star in Texas, one from Rocket City, a Long Island curler, and an Ardsley curler.
Rocket City, Alabama.
Rocket City is in Huntsville, yes, Huntsville, Alabama. And Lone Star, I don't remember if that's Dallas or Houston. That's Dallas, okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. I think it's great that the reputation that Ardsley and you guys have curated for this event is attracting teams from all over the country. I mean, Madison had some shirts made up. I don't know if they'll ever wear these again in public, but they're great for this event.
Yeah, I would say probably not outside of a curling club would they wear those. But that can be said of a lot of people's curling outfits.
All right, this is the first from Misfits skip, Josh Newbern from Peachtree Curling Club. This is going to obviously come down to skip stones. Hopefully he's got the timing down. Looks like he might make the 12-foot here if they really bang on it here. No.
One interesting note about this Madison team, Austin Binish, who is filling in for their second, is it?
Yes.
John Miller.
John moved down to lead.
Oh, so
Austin's taking over for somebody who went on the IR last minute from Milwaukee. They grabbed him, I think, a week before the event.
Yeah, I'm not sure because, well, I know Austin does have a matching shirt as the others. He was wearing it the rest of the weekend, but he has played the whole weekend for them. Austin had actually registered his own team for this event and had to back out because the other 3 people on his team were unable to make it, but Austin was going to be in the area anyway, visiting some family. And so it lucked out that he was able to find a spot on this Madison team, and so he has actually been a permanent member of their team this whole weekend.
By the way, Austin does want to make a shout out to Addison and Michelle back home watching in the Milwaukee area. He's probably not going to want to tell you this, but it's 70 degrees and sunny here today. I don't know what the temperature there is, but you're probably not at 70. And we usually aren't either, so we're going to brag about it when we can.
Yeah, it's been in the 70s all weekend, which is actually not to our favor. You know, we prefer it a little cooler outside, which helps the conditions inside a little bit.
Here comes Josh's second. It looks like he is going to be a little wide here. Maybe he can get lucky and get a roll. Okay, that's, I believe, in the 12-foot. Oh, no, it's a little short. So now Madison is, what do you think they're throwing here, Jeff? Can't really tell. This is their last stone, so we've got an opportunity for 2.
Yeah, based on where that broom is, not quite sure what they're, maybe just a little,
maybe they're just
trying to come down to their own,
tapping their
using
yellow
their
up.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see how much this curls.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of ice. We're just
they got the whole other side open there too, but they're I guess they know this way, so they're going to try it.
It does look wide also.
Stone is off. It's coming. They better jump on it now to sweep. Can't hurt it. All right, they're going to wait for it to curl a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's on
that
red.
Get a little bit of a rub off of there, and they are in for 2. Wow. That's a tough way to go about it, but they got it done.
Yeah, I don't think that was quite their intention, but it worked out nonetheless.
By the way, the Madison team, if you've ever been out to the Madison Curling Club, it's just a wonderful place outside of Madison in one of the suburbs. And they have very strong membership, probably about 500 people there. And they have a 5 and under bonspiel coming up in January, which is still open. The Frozen 5 and under, it's called, mid-January. So if you want to go out to a great curling club, pay these guys back for coming out here. And here's the kicker. Madison offers free beer all the time to all of their bonspiel guests. And that is such a foreign thing here in New York. I just can't get over it. But out there, it's not a big deal. They're wonderful hosts, and we hope somebody out there can make it. This looks like a really good, tight guard, splitting the center. Oh, it's just moving in now. They're going to give up on it and get it as deep as they can. So that's always a plan B for these center guards. If it's deep, you want to pull it in as far as you can toward the front 4 foot, and that's always becomes a difficult decision for the opposing team, because if they hit it, then you're looking at maybe 1 at the end. But typically what happens is you throw up a corner guard, which is what this looks to be, although it looks a little heavy. It's slowing down now. And,
appears to be running a little straight. It's finishing pretty well.
Yeah. So this might be a nice tight finish here on the corner guard. That's good. So anybody watching that hasn't followed this sport very well, you're not allowed to hit those stones yet that are outside of the rings. Not until the 5th stone are you allowed to hit any of those. So typically what happens is you want to throw up what are called guards, and these are the stones that land on purpose in front of the house, and because they can't get hit out right away. And then you try to throw stones underneath or behind those guard rocks to be able to score. Easier said than done. Now that they did not go after the yellow stone, Madison is going to put up a guard on their first shot, which was a little deep, and this looks much better weight here. Good shot. Right by John. Dickinson likes it. And now Peachtree has a decision to make. They could play around their corner guard, which they put up, or they can just go ahead and start hitting the yellow stone, which is, they could probably see half of it from the hack. This is a difficult decision for anybody, let alone a 5 and under curler, to just trust your team to be able to play off of that corner guard and not give up on it quickly. It looks like the Peachtree Nashville team is going to just sort of go for this now rather than wait. And that's a very good shot. Might not push the yellow stone all the way out the back. Yellow is still going to be counting, but they are now behind the tee line, or in the back half of the rings, which gives Nashville and Peachtree opportunities to move their stones on top of that yellow stone and outcount them. So even though the yellow stone is counting 1 and is closest to the middle, I would say advantage Peachtree at this point. Yeah, call them the Misfits. That's what they want to be called. So we're going to do the same.
Yeah, I think the Misfits are going to have to open up that middle, maybe peel that center guard with their next rock.
Well, scores on the other sheets. Sheet A, Stieffenhofer. Stieffenhofer.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I keep getting that wrong. Got their 1 in the first, and now Duck Ness has the hammer in the second. And sheet C is still finishing their first end. It looks like the Misfits are going to try to promote their red stone back into that yellow. It's a difficult little shot here.
It's a tough shot to get around that guard and get thick enough on that red to promote it, but worst case,
they are really screaming at this one. This is going to be close.
It's just going to clear it out of there.
Yeah,
it opens up the path to that shot rock a little bit, though.
A lot of weight on that shot. I thought they would have thrown probably hack weight or something on that with a little bit more ice. That way, if they miss, their stone is still in play. But as it turns out, Jeff, they stopped on the 12-foot there. And if they hold on to the hammer here, that could be their second shot.
That's true. They lucked out a little bit that rock did hang around.
So the team from Boston has picked up their one. I think every single rock was in play over there. So now the yellow squad from Schenectady is going to have the hammer in the second end. All right, now Madison has put up a bit of a block here for Peachtree, and they're just going to do a straight peel on this, it looks like. The trick here is to move their shot stone out of the way. Shot is off, and looks like he's going to get both of them, maybe? Sweep, sweep, sweep. That was a very good shot. The problem, though, is the red rock is still guarding everything, and I can't tell from here, but it's going to be close between who is now shot stone. So I would say, Jeff, advantage Madison right now. It looks like yellow. So it is yellow.
Unfortunately, we have a inflatable duck butt blocking the view of the actual players. This might be Cool Duck the third, because I think last year we had a different Cool Duck than the previous year, so I assume that was junior.
Well, no, this is the second year of this duck.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, the old one, which had the.
So he's still a 5 and under.
Yes,
so
he's
still
still
5
5
and
and under, which is not the reason we retired. We retired because it just had too many weeks in it. By the end of the weekend, basically just a deflated duck.
Well, for the thousands of people listening to this feed, type in what you think is the name of
We could offer naming rights to somebody for a large donation to the club. Name it after you.
There's some prime real estate on the back of that duck there, right there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
a little bit too much prime real estate, John.
Yeah. If anyone would choose to have their name printed right there,
all right, here comes.
Meanwhile, it looks like Madison has another stone out counting the Misfits.
Not anymore.
Yeah, maybe not anymore.
Good miss. So now, but here's the thing. Let's get this ball. Shot. They're putting the broom right on the stone, which tells me they're going to throw a lot of weight. Push this. Just missed that. Good takeout. It's still Madison 2. A lot of openings here.
they're looking at the hit and roll on that one that Madison just threw, as opposed to the straight draw, which means they're probably not expecting a lot of curl either. Or did they opt for the straight draw? Maybe it looks like.
They're suggesting top 4 weight.
Yeah, so I guess they are just going for the draw, but this is not.
It's not moving
curling
the way they
at all.
want it to. They may get a roll in.
They may have just tapped in a third point for a third counter.
All right.
For Madison.
Well, This is when the skip's got to come in and save the day for the Misfits. They're down to skip stones. So this will be Dickinson's first. He's in real good shape. He's probably, it looks like, given the broom, he's going to try to beat Misfits to the middle. And if he does this, Jeff, I'm really not certain what the Misfits are going to do.
I'm not quite sure, unless they're going to have to hope he's a little bit heavy and maybe they follow it down and sit on it.
Bucks County's in control over on sheet A. They got two behind cover and a third one biting. All right, here is Madison's skip rocks first throw.
So it looks like they're expecting about 3 feet of curl here.
They are on it now.
They're trying
to pull it around that guard, and now he's going to push it, hopefully buried. He is just behind the tee.
And
see, I don't know if that's going to help. If a good shot by Atlanta's Peachtree's skip is going to hit this probably flush, be in front of the tee line, which is key. And he might, Jeff, even be able to get a roll off of this. We'll see what happens. They're putting the broom almost on the stone, so it looks like he's going to throw some takeout weight on this.
Yeah.
And again, you know, you don't have to crush it. So I don't know, it's particularly that they need to stick around. You're running the risk of rolling too far if you're off by even 2 inches.
And based on reports I've been getting all weekend, of course I haven't been out there playing, but from the reports I've been getting, the stones have been running a little straighter than usual here, which I believe is due to the warm temperatures outside. And yeah, that's going to be outside when they
might get
wanted
it
it.
Second, and he does push it out. Oh, that's an excellent. I don't know if that was the intended call, but that worked out nicely. It looks like from our angle it might still be there, but it is really close.
Yeah, definitely cut it down at the very least.
Nice shot by Skip. Josh. Red back in this end and potentially back in the game. If they would have given up 3 here, it would have been 5-0 early. So this is when Madison can take the end back here with a nice come around. They've already done this shot once, so hopefully they've made the adjustments. Shots away. Like it's gonna, oh, this is pretty, Jeff. It's gonna hopefully stop short this time. No, it's pretty much in the same spot, but shorter this time.
A little lighter, so just a hit.
A hit and a stick may actually give Peachtree 2. Might, maybe.
Might. It's tough to tell which is second from here. With the stones running fairly straight, it should be.
Looks like yellow's second, Jeff. It looks like they've got a second stone there.
Yeah, it should be a pretty straightforward hit.
Just a hit and stay. This is when your brain starts playing games with you, right? It's like, oh, geez. You know,
yeah, it looks like.
Am I going to miss it or make it?
It looks like they actually pulled the broom in a bit from their last shot. Now they're in front of about quarter rock.
And here comes a shot. Looks like he's going to throw a little bit more down weight this time, but it's still got plenty. It's just got to hit and stay for their one.
I don't know. This looks.
Looks Wide.
He got
he got the rub and roll over.
Yeah.
So it is going to be one red. Wow.
Well, they're looking closely at what's second. Oh, they're measuring.
Well, this gives us some time to check on the other sheets here. I can't see sheet C here from Jeff. Can you?
Sheet C, yeah, they're still they still have about 5 rocks left to go in the second end.
On sheet C, Nisky Business with the yellow has a stone right on the button, just about on the button, just behind the button. So they're sitting one, surrounded by a lot of yellow stones. Although a great shot right through a fairly small port by, well, the other team, the red team with the long name.
The Boston team.
The Boston team. One if by steel, two if by hammer.
Yes.
It looks like Bucks County's still in control of the end on sheet A. There's plenty of cover for their 2-shot stones. So who won the measure?
I think it was a little unclear. I think it was yellow, but
until they put the score up, we don't know.
Yeah. They didn't make a definitive, move to the center with the counting rock. So
don't they know we're standing here watching? We gotta.
I don't know.
Well, at any rate, Misfits are back in it. They're only at best they are tied. At worst, they are only down 1. Madison now has the hammer. Felt like Madison was in control of that end until the skip stones.
Yeah, and I think the Misfits did get a little bit lucky on that last rock where they ticked off of the.
That was a great plan B.
Yeah.
Thought about or not, the shot was made.
It still counts. So they put up the score. It was 1 red. So
excellent. Okay. Here's Miller's first. John would like to make special thank yous to his friend John for the broom cases that this team brought out with them to Ardsley. A common problem with curlers is that you have to check the broom in at the airport, and some of the cases, the soft cases in particular, the broom breaks when you get to the other side. I'm getting told that it's 2 red on sheet B, not 1, even though the score says otherwise. So it's tied up on sheet B.
How would somebody know that?
I guess they're making hand signals. Anyway, these broom cases, Jeff, were apparently top-notch. PCV,
PVC
piping and all over.
Oh.
And you can survive LaGuardia Airport. You can survive anything.
I'd say if you can get a PVC tube on a plane these days, I don't know. When I fly with my broom bag, people at the airport always say golf clubs. And depending on how much I feel like explaining, sometimes I just say yes.
Yeah, they always pull my shoes out of the bag because they don't like the Teflon coating on it. Apparently I'm a big trouble because I'm a curler. So the Misfits have put their 2 guard stones in the house, which is okay if you get them staggered. And it's a bit of an unlucky break from Madison. They did get 1 stone out of there. They are in a good position in front of the red stone. It's now they did change the score. It is now 2-2. Madison has the hammer, and it looks like Josh is going to call for a guard here, knowing that they're currently counting stone. So typically, generally, when you do not have the hammer and you get a stone counting, you want to do everything you can to protect the middle of the sheet, and that is what he's doing here. get this over first. Here it comes. And it looks like they are going to push the yellow stone into the red stone. All right, well, that's not terrible. Now, what's your call here, Jeff?
Well, I think while they have the opportunity, maybe if they can get rid of that, they're going to, let's like, try and peel that red.
Red into the yellow into the red. I think
maybe
granite is going to start flying here.
I was going to say, if they can get rid of that red in the 4 foot and roll out to the side, roll out to the 8 foot.
Austin has ticked the guard out of the way, which is fine.
Get the job done. Yeah,
it's fine. I would still say yellow's in the command position here because they're in front of that red stone and have time to push it back.
Yeah. So if you're red without hammer, they're gonna, looks like they're gonna try and remove that yellow, which is risky because if they overcurl it even a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of like the draw in here, but if they can tick and roll into the 12 foot, they've really opened up the end. Okay, here it comes. It looks like it's going to be a little tight. And it has worked out again for the Team Misfits.
Yeah.
Again, they're not calling these shots, but they're getting the result they need.
So they are lying too. So.
Just checking out sheet C here. There's a lot of brain cells being expended over there, trying to figure out how to get a yellow stone in there. Red is totally in control and buried.
Yeah, they got a lot of rocks in play on C.
And that is a flash by Madison, so a huge opportunity here for Peachtree Nashville to get this done. Looks like he's going to call the come around. He hasn't given enough ice yet. I'm wondering when he's going to extend the broom a bit. As we know this because we play here, but as the ice breaks down a little bit, there's a lot more curl.
Yeah, especially at the end. It tends to finish pretty hard, so they may need to jump on this to get it around that red.
Well, Skip is telling him to hold up, so it might be a little heavy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, he's going to go for the bit of a rub here.
He's going to get the split.
That's a great. Now that's Skip 101 right there. You got to figure out what your plan B is in case everything goes awry. And he knew halfway down the sheet what he wanted to do instead, and they got it done. So great job by Mr. Newburn. And Madison's in a bit of a pickle here. They got to start taking stones out and hopefully getting a good roll. Otherwise, their chances of getting multiple points here diminished.
They're looking at what's most likely going to come down to a draw for one. This is going to jam and roll out, it looks like.
Right. Well, it's better than it was, but unfortunately, Misfits can just replace that stone, which I would do. Put one maybe in the top 12.
12, yeah, and just make them draw.
It's a gun show out there for Josh, showing off.
Where is Josh? I don't see. Oh, he's holding the broom.
All right, shots away. This is Eric. And it looks like they are going to do, it's over curling now. The back part of the house is just okay. If they're going to go past the tee line, they should go way back. So they sort of left that there. So if push comes to shove, Jeff, they could do a freeze here, but I don't know if that time yet. It's not desperation time. I think there's still an opportunity to hit and roll.
I think that's what he's calling for, is the hit and roll.
Everything has to do with a roll. You have to assume you're going to hit it, but all the attention has to be paid on the roll absolutely have to have this to save the end. Yeah, it looks like I could see before you can on the sheet, but they're up and down on it, so it looks like it's going to be close.
Yeah, it looks like it may be a little tight here.
Push. And
Oh,
get a little
they
bit of
do
a
get the
roll.
roll.
Not bad.
Yeah.
They are probably counting, but I think probably 3/4 of that stone is open. They could either push that back a few inches and become 1, 2, and 3 counting stones, can red,
Yeah.
or they can kind of just sit on it. But I don't know why they do that if they can push it back. It's not easy. You have to put the broom in the right spot to get this thing out there. But I would not throw smoke at this.
Based on the broom, it looks like they are.
Apparently he likes to go heavy hard every time
I guess
he can.
Looks like they're just playing for the force, I think.
Bucks County's coming down nice on sheet A. This is a beauty. Look at this. Through all of that garbage, behind their own guard and sitting right on the button. Man, what a shot.
That was. Did we see who threw that?
Whoever it was, they showed up on that one. All right, Madison is still figuring out what to do after the Misfits did get rid of that stone, but they rolled out, just like we had said. They did get the main objective, which was that yellow stone out of there. And you're right, Jeff. Looks like they're going to go for the force. We're down to skip stones. This has to get hidden somewhere, or at least a freeze. If he doesn't get either, it's probably going to be 1 yellow here at the end.
A draw for 1 if he
makes
can draw and out count both of those in the 8-foot.
Yeah, very easy. I think he's calling a freeze here. I think he's.
You think he's trying to freeze on the back one?
I think he's going to be pretty aggressive here. If he puts one on top, he's counting 1 and making it harder for Josh to get him out. But these freezes are probably the hardest shot at curling.
Yeah.
I don't usually pull these out until I'm desperate.
Yeah, that is what they're going for, it looks like. This is not coming over.
Yeah, I think he was a little wide of the broom. They held off right away. I think they knew. That's tight, but I bet you one of these stones ends up moving, so we won't have to measure.
Yeah.
But right now, I would guess yellow.
Yeah, I would say based on what we see on the cameras, it's yellow, but you can't always go by what it looks like on the cameras, as we've learned.
Well, Dave is a righty, which means he was throwing an out turn there, and a lot of times what happens is you pop your elbow a little bit, and it just stays out there. And when you're dealing with the center line, I'm sure this is the case in most clubs, it takes a while for the rock to get over the other side of the center line. So between those two factors, I think, is why the rock was wider than we really wanted. Josh is coming in heavy hard again.
Yeah, he's going for the hit rather than the freeze on that yellow.
I wouldn't want to get in an argument with this guy. He'd probably just haul off and crack me one. Every shot he's thrown has been through the house. So hopefully he can sneak a draw in here and there in case he needs that later in the game.
Yeah. We're down to the hammer, so it's...
Are they going to try to double here and just give up?
Well,
I mean, this is the last shot.
They would need to, yeah. They just need to come down to that back one.
They've got most of the house in play. They can even throw full 8-foot and still get their 1. But by Josh taking that out, he's basically daring them to do that. And you know what? This is a win for Misfits. Either way, the best case scenario for Madison is they only get 1. And so the Misfits get the hammer back in the 3rd. That's if he makes it. If he misses it, it's a steal. And they are up and down on the broom, I can report. And now they are on it.
They're on it pretty hard, trying to hold that line.
They got to get it in there.
They're both on it hard now. Just
like
trying to.
They got it. All right, good effort by those sweepers. You know, it's hard to tell sometimes halfway down the sheet, and all of a sudden they all realized, oh gosh, I better get on this. So it's 1 for Madison in the third. These are 8 end games. Are we doing 10 for the final? Or this is 8.
No, this is 8.
All right, so this is an important point for the Misfits. They have the hammer in the even ends, which is usually an advantage. So even though they're down by 1, I would suggest that the Misfits are advantaged here a little bit, but it's a very tight game. I like a tight game in the final.
Yep, that's what we hope for. No one wants to see an A-event final blowout.
So here comes John's first. You know, I was talking to John earlier. He knows, you know, the importance of being a lead. He was listed as second. These lead stones are everything for an end. You know, if you can put it where they call it, and hopefully this is going to be short of the 12-foot, then they have some options. And this is a nice one. This is going to touch center line.
Yep. And in case anyone is curious, we are not using the no-tick rule. So, tick shot, for those of you watching who know what that is, tick shots are allowed.
That's when the opposing lead moves the yellow stone enough over to one side so that it doesn't go out of play. If it goes out of play, then the shot stone is removed from play and the stone that was hit goes back to where it was. So it looks like he is going to try to come around. No, this is a corner guard. My apologies. Yeah. So this is an aggressive play. You know, they put up a corner, but you know what, Jeff? Let's see if they follow through.
And that's
going to be sliding in.
Maybe a little heavy. Yeah, it's going to be in the house.
That's a mistake on the sweepers.
Yeah. They overswept that, so now an opportunity for a hit and roll under that center guard.
Yep, advantage Madison. Don't see any nickname call-outs for the Duck yet, so
no.
Very disappointing. You've got some creative people out there.
Yeah, the old Duck was a little different. It was a little smaller. It didn't quite have the same footprint that this one does, and it had dark black sunglasses, so it looked a little more like
he was
cool
heftier.
Duck.
This one is
this one's a little skinny.
He's on the keto diet, I think.
Yeah, when we tried to replace it,
oh, beautiful shot by sheet A. Holy smokes. It looked like Bucks had this wrapped up, and all of a sudden, Duck Ness just came roaring back, and that is just a huge, huge end. Huge end.
Did they take 3 or 4 there?
Three.
They took 3.
Yeah, they are now winning that match. What a shot by their skip. I mean, he cleared a lot.
Yeah. Is Jake Ness wearing cat clothing? If it's not clear on YouTube.
All right, this is a nice shot by Team Misfits. That stone is touching the 12-foot. These are always a pain in the neck to remove. They are going to go for it.
Tough to know how much curl you're going to get out there.
Usually not much. And hopefully they put that right on the stone. And it looks like this is going to roll out, but he's probably going to hit it.
Get a piece of it, yeah.
It's curling in a little bit now. It's going to go out of play.
Yeah, you got enough.
Again, you don't need to throw this huge weight. They could have had that roll in a little bit and use that stone. But the hard part is done. They got rid of it. That was trouble.
So now we'll see what they're going to do. It looks like they're going to try and beat them to the 4-foot here.
This is Matt Applesauce.
Matt Applesauce is his nickname. It's Applesauce.
Right. We got a guy here named Angeli, so we should put these two together.
Yeah, peanut butter
and jelly and applesauce. Yeah. That's disgusting.
Yes. So this one.
That is going to be behind the guard, but very gettable. I think that's deeper than what they wanted.
Yeah, definitely. And as a result, didn't curl quite as much as they had hoped. So it should be visible from the hack.
So again, there's a bunch riding on this game. The winner goes to the 5 and Under National Championship. The location is yet to be announced, but both teams are excited for the opportunity to make the trip. The Madison team, I think 3 out of the 4 of them went last year, and they would like to go back.
I believe the skip of the Madison team actually was the winner of that event last year.
Oh, well, he didn't tell me that.
Oh.
So he's typical Midwest modesty there.
That's what I've been hearing.
Well, they're certainly railroading a lot of teams out here this weekend. It's a good team. I think Peachtree, Nashville would do well to get past these Madison guys. Comes Applesauce at second. And they are calling it. It looks like he's a little narrow. It's okay if they move this guard.
I
And
think they got it
just
by.
got past. Man, you couldn't have fit a credit card in there.
No.
And here it comes. Oh, he's going to knock himself out. Yeah, it just overcurled on him. I don't know if they had enough broom on that one in the beginning, but very good effort. It looks like
I think it is shot for the moment, but of course, being all the way in the back 12, they're no one's probably that worried about it.
I'll use it as backing. Okay. Shots away from Madison. This is Eric's first. They're calling him up now. This looks like it's going to be close on weight, maybe a touch heavy, but again, they have that backing. They had the right broom, and they are going to go right back onto the and freeze onto that back red. So, good miss. Teams that win these, they tend to miss well. And you want to call shots where if you miss it, you don't get in big trouble. And I think that's a learning curve there that a fifth year curler picks up. That maybe a first or second year curler is still learning. And that's the great thing about the 5 and Unders is there's such a huge learning curve for every team. The difference between a fifth year curler and it's like a first or second year curler is just monumental usually. And that's because of these little things that you learn out on the ice, like how to miss.
Right, it's always important to know what your tolerance is, where, if it's better to be light, better to be heavy, better to be a little wide, better to be a little narrow. Of course, it's better to be perfect, but in the event that you miss, it's better to know what the pro miss is as opposed to the bad miss.
Right, and this right here from Misfits was a pro miss. They came up short, and they knew that if they were short, and Madison tried to hit him out, that they would have a very easy time of it because of all those stones back there. This is Eric's second. Looks like they're going to try for the draw. They've really picked up something on the ice here. I don't know if this is going to make it. They won't.
No, that's a very high.
I think it
guard. Did that pick, you think?
Yeah, a little bit. It came out funny in his hand. All right, I think this puts Misfits in the driver's seat here. If he can get a little tap here, looks like that's what he's thinking about.
Yeah.
And because they were short, Madison loses part of that draw path on the other side. That was a key miss for this end. Justin Canefield. He says Canefield. A lot of people call him Canfield.
Oh.
Nobody really knows for sure. He's out of Nashville.
I didn't know that. I would have pronounced it Canfield.
I think most people up here would. I don't think cares either way.
Well, it would be a rare occasion that I was calling him by both his first and last name, so.
This looks like a good tap weight coming.
Yeah, and it looks the line looks pretty good too.
He's got to.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah, pretty.
That's a beautiful
it's
shot.
also in front of the tee line too. So this is going to be time for Madison, I think, to maybe clear that center garter there is out of the way. That's troublesome.
Yeah, of course, Madison doesn't have the hammer in this end, correct? Is that correct? Yeah.
That is correct. So he might also try to...
they may want to just guard up and just try and force the one.
Yeah, Madison is second shot in the back. So that's, Jeff, it looks like you're right. That's what they're going to try to do. And if they go deep, well, maybe they get behind their own card.
Yeah.
This is Dickinson's first.
And of course, the promise here would be to be light and guard. You don't want to be sitting open on the 4 foot on the edge of the 4 and give the Misfits a chance for a hit to sit to.
This looks a little deep, Jeff.
This is a little heavy.
Oh boy,
that's all the way down.
That is
to the
the
back,
thing you
I
don't
think.
want to do. So yes, that is probably second shot, but not helpful back there. Did you read Matt Kenland's comment here? Josh came to rip sleeves and win curling matches, and it looks like he's out of sleeves. Yes, he is. It's a good thing this is the last game.
I'm having trouble reading
the
comments here, but I see Kristen Conrad watching. Killer shot, y'all. Hello, Kristen. It's good to have you with us. We hope to see you back here soon at one of our spiels.
This is a key shot, I think, for the Misfit team. They can really lock up Madison in this end and make it so that the best they get is one. I really think this has to be second shot. Right now, they're only sitting one.
Yeah, they need to get. I mean, they really want to come out of this with 2 or more. So it looks like
they're still talking. There's probably some deciding yet to do here. That's the other thing we talk about a lot in clinics is buying into the shot and making sure that everybody knows what the shot is and believing in it. And a lot of the skip's job is to kind of sell it. All right, big shot for Team Misfits. Oh, he's coming out heavy again.
This looks
there
like
we
a
go.
lot of weight. He's trying to do some damage there.
More takeouts, please.
This looks sailing wide, I think.
Yeah, he came out with a lot of heat.
Yeah, that's going to go right through everything.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure what the attempt was there.
That was heavy enough to make the Bronx, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So Madison's been given a break here because of that flash, and they are going to try to make life difficult here. It looks like they're coming in as well. And again, it's a victory for Madison if they only give up the 1. Dickinson's last.
Yeah, we'll see if I didn't see if they're going to try and just guard up and go for the force, or if they're going to try and. Yeah, I mean they're going to need. They're going to need the button to sit shot. So.
This looks like a good line.
Looks
for
real
a draw.
nice.
Beautiful.
It's
broom.
looking nice. Is it going to catch?
It's going back again.
Oh, well, it's not.
The weight was good. I don't know if they can put that much curl on it. It's still red counting. So
yeah, and I think
the play here is to try to hit and just hopefully he doesn't throw 1,000 miles an hour on this. He only needs to push it back maybe a foot.
Well, will a nose hit, make him second shot, or will that that yellow jam in the back and be second.
Well, I think you're right. I think
It's
he
hard
needs to
to tell.
flop. He needs to flop over.
Yeah,
and,
it's
and
hard
throwing a bullet isn't going to allow him that opportunity. If he runs it straight back,
I can't really.
he might get lucky and get two,
tell.
but
Yeah, I
in all
can't
likelihood he's going to get one. So I do think he's got to be a little careful here, and they are talking about
flopping
reading the
over.
broom. It looks like they know they need to flop over.
Yeah, and it looks like they're taking a lot of ice though for that, especially based on how straight it's been running down that side.
Yeah. Well, they haven't. Well, here's the thing.
So he's
right?
gotta come
Josh
way
has been
down
throwing
weight.
takeouts the whole game, right? So
Right.
now he doesn't know what the draw, what the line
he
is.
just, with that amount of ice, he needs to just throw like back house weight.
That's probably what he called back house or hack even.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
a ton of curl. Here he's coming out now.
Yeah, he did pull the broom in a few inches, I see.
Okay, it looks like it's hack weight, and they are not on it yet. Oh, they're off. This is going to be close.
Yeah, this is going to be on the outside of the rock.
It's not curling at all. All right, one red. Tied up. You know, that was still key that they get one because it's the even end. They got their point in the even end. We're all tied up. Again, it's an 8-end game, and Madison will have the hammer in the 5th. Dave Dickinson, by the way, wants to say hello to his Madison teammates back home. He probably thinks they're watching. Hope they are. I was talking to Josh earlier. He says Peachtree. I haven't been there yet. Have you been to Peachtree yet, Jeff?
No, I have not.
He said a dedicated facility. They purchased it northwest of Atlanta, probably even more northwest of Buckout. And they've got about 150 members. He thinks they were up over 200 before COVID, full, 3 sheets, and they need to get back closer to that level. But it sounds like they're in real good shape. You know, they're renting. Their rent is due in a few years, and they got all the same issues that other curling clubs have, about tenants and landlords and that kind of thing. But very healthy turnout, good membership, and a lot of them came over from the old Atlanta Curling Club, which was a arena ice. There's still a few members at Atlanta that are not members of Peachtree, but most of them are members of both. I need to get down there. Madison's first. This looks like a corner guard. It's a good weight. Probably a 2 or a 3. Now let's see if they use it. A lot of times they throw the corner guard up there and they don't use it. So I think Josh realizes this, and he's going to try to throw something that makes Madison not be able to draw as easily around that corner guard. I think it's a smart play. And again, if he's deep, he just comes in and he's behind cover. So, this is a well-worn play, well-worn path. All right, well, he's definitely in the way.
Yeah,
so that's done its job. Now, what's Madison? They're gonna go for it. They're gonna draw all the way around the outside and try to come in.
Come around the other way rather than coming into the center.
I like this call too. I don't know if the ice is going to treat this nicely, but on a lot of sheets you would be able to make this call.
That would be my concern. Is it just going to hang out there?
I think it's too early for the team with Hammer to take the middle. You know, you put something in the middle now, it really reduces the scoring area, and I like coming out to the outside and trying to get a second stone in play.
Yeah, we just haven't seen a lot of rocks go down this path yet.
This really has to get. He's short.
That's a little light, I think, and
that's typical, right? You know, there's no one been out there yet, and
So
they
it's
don't realize
frosty,
how
probably.
much they got to throw it. You know, the thing to remember is it's okay to be in the back of the rings when you're all the way on the outside, more so than in the middle. But that's a tough shot.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad they tried it.
So now an opportunity for the Misfits to try and beat them to the 4 foot. And again, the promise is light. And guard that draw path.
He came out kind of narrow on this, but it might work out. Josh doesn't seem too concerned.
Well, maybe he's changed it up to a tap. No, it's going to go by,
Wow,
but
good eyes. Beautiful shot. A little deep, but man, beggars can't be choosers. That's deeper than I thought. Back 12. All right, now Madison has made up their mind that they need to clean up some mess, and I think this is a good call. You got to get the middle open.
And if you notice, the broom is now pretty much right in the center of the stone. So they're not counting on any curl at all.
All right, they got one red out of there.
And a little bit of jam there, but
That's okay. He's off the center line.
Yeah.
Plenty of room to draw in. The question is, what is Josh going to do about this? And he's putting up a guard.
Not a bad call with only one red in the house.
I mean, he could have come in now.
He could come in, could come behind
get
that.
second shot and beat him to the middle. I probably would have done that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like the guard here just to he probably knows that Madison has to peel whatever he throws. So, you know, they're using up a rock.
All right, and if he is a little heavy, then he can just bring it in behind that center guard, but
He's missed the line, though.
he's going to tap that one.
Hopefully this taps in, and it won't.
No.
All right, well, that's a miss.
Yeah.
So, is Madison going to hit these out, or are they going to draw around? It looks like
I think they're hitting.
Yeah. See, these are staggered stones, right? So the chances are red isn't going to be able to promote any of these well. So it might be a good idea to go around these two stones because it's going to take 2 shots for red to be able to do anything about it. But if Madison takes these, they really need to get both of them out to make this shot worthwhile.
Yeah, and they need a lot of weight for that.
They may hang up and end up guarding the middle themselves. So we'll see what happens. Here comes the shot. They do get both, but there is a guard there as well. So Josh could come around, but he's not doing it. He's going to put up another guard. So this is Josh using up Madison's stones. Madison hasn't been able to throw one in the house yet. High guard. I think this is an opportunity for Madison now to come in and take advantage.
Yeah, I think that guard's plenty high.
That's why I like coming in there. You know, you're still in control of the end, and I think they're giving Madison an opening. I'm hearing them say it's a little heavy, and it doesn't look like the thrower's too happy with himself. Eric, wish he had that one back.
Yeah, and that's just hanging out there, too. I thought the line was a little better than that.
Oh, it's curling
out of his
now.
hand.
It's just hot. It might stick around. Oh, he's fortunate. Okay, so they're still counting, but they're a lot deeper than they want it to be. All right, now Josh is going to come in. fields first. First or second? We're calling top 4 or T, but it doesn't look like it's going to make it that far. Okay. Quickly on sheet A, they are also playing the 5th end. Bucks County did get 2 back in the 4th. That's big for them after giving up that, huge end and huge shot by Nutmeg in the 3rd. So they're up 5th end. And sheet C so far, it is all Boston. Although it hasn't always been easy. They're up 4-0. And it looks like yellow is in control of this end, so that game may tighten up over on sheet C.
And that is against Schenectady, is that right? That's where Nisky Business is from, I believe. Yes.
Yep. Hit and roll from Madison, but they didn't quite get it rolled enough. So another opportunity for Josh and his Misfit team. It's an interesting team. Last year, Josh had a team and the other 3 were on a separate team, and they were asked last minute by Southern California Curling Club, who was hosting the Nationals last year, if they could do a play down in Southern California for the last spot the week before the championship. And these 2 guys, they got together and they decided to do it. Josh's team did not win, but the other guys did win, and they made it into the tournament. So this year, they decided to team up. And as I've said before, if they were able to get by this tough Madison team, they would make a return. Most of them make a return trip to the national championships for 5 and under. Okay, that is short. I think he's short-armed that a little bit. He probably wants that one back. This is Madison's last. They are counting 1, and if it looks like they're going to call a hit and roll under cover, and if they make this, I'm really not sure what the Misfit team could do about it. Probably going to go back and look at this end and wonder if they could have come in earlier instead of throwing up all those guards. Puts a lot of pressure on your skip and the second vice stone to make a good shot. The shot is away. Looks like he's going to be wide and hit and roll out and hit his own stone out. Oh, goodness. I didn't see that one coming. So now, unbelievably, red is sitting 2 with a shot at 3. That is a crazy game. Crazy. All he has to do is touch blue. He's throwing more weight at this one. Sweepers aren't doing anything. They needed a rub off of the yellow. They're going to get it and roll in. All right. So now, sitting 3, what is Madison going to do?
Sorry about that. I had an emergency phone call from work come in. So,
Did you solve the emergency over the phone?
well, it was solved, though I didn't actually do anything that should have caused it to be solved. So,
That's the best kind of emergency. You get all
Yeah.
the credit and you didn't do anything.
right. I suspect that the thing they told me wasn't working actually was working the whole time. But
Well, you missed it. Madison was in total control, and Dickinson's first shot, somehow he hit himself out twice and ended up giving control over to the Misfits, and now he has to hit and roll over here to save himself.
yeah, and this
And it is going to be narrow, but he's going to get the
that
other
is-
in.
and
So now
wow.
he's counting. It's
Yeah.
not what he wanted, but he's counting.
Nope.
So that's
And
one.
That was one for
One for yellow, and they had to really struggle to get that.
yeah.
It was ended up being a good end for the Misfit team. But, they got a little bit of a break from Madison there. The Skip's
Yeah.
shot went awry. All right, still a tight game. Misfits have the hammer in the 6th. It looks like they did not put a score up on sheet C yet, or did they? No, they didn't.
No, they have not hung the fourth end.
Unfortunately, I missed what happened.
And they're just this is their first rock of the 5th, so maybe they're gonna hang it now. It looks like.
Whoa, it's a
Oh,
big
it was a
end.
big end
Four.
for yellow.
Holy
So the game
smokes.
is tied now. It went from looking like all Boston to now a tie game halfway through. As many here know, I typically like when games are all Boston,
You need to shut this down now.
but in this case, I'm
You're in New York.
neutral.
Behave.
I'm neutral on this game. I didn't grow up a fan of either one if by steel, two if by hammer, or Nisky Business. So
Beauty over here on sheet A from the Red Stones, Duck Duck Ness. Every one of these games is now tightened right up. That's a huge 4 from sheet C. Huge. And we have a corner guard from
yeah, nicely placed
Misfits.
one.
Very, very good shot. And hopefully this is the end they get to play it.
Yeah, it's perfectly placed, about a foot or so in front of the house and right on the edge of the 4-foot line.
Comes Miller's second. This looks deep too. No, it's fine.
It's coming
Checked
down,
out.
it looks like. Yeah, now the sweepers are jumping on it.
Checked up. Not bad.
So that rock, just for reference, would not be subject to the no tick rule if we were using that, as it is not touching the center line. Because
This is
I
Tom's
imagine-
second. Interesting little factoid here. Josh, the skip, and Tom did not know each other before Thursday.
which ones?
The lead and the skip. So that's curling at its finest. Just come, meet, have a good time, and it's working out. They're in the final. So that one
The
pushed
lead.
up the red stone. That stone is counting. That's in the top 12.
And that's the lead is from which club is that?
He's from Nashville.
Nashville. Relatively new club.
And we've sent some teams down there. That's Mark
yeah.
Bolger's club, right? One of the
Carl
investors.
Biltz, I believe, is
Carl.
yeah.
He's the guy running the ice there, right?
Our old friend Carl, from formerly of Triangle. got his dream job, I believe, as the ice technician at the new Nashville curling club.
Triangle's turning into a real powerhouse. You know, they're sending teams all over the country now. The Madison team was telling me for their men's events and their 5 and unders, the Triangle typically sends 2 to 3 teams to that every year.
Wow.
So good for them. Keep it up.
Yeah, we used to see a lot of Triangle teams up here. I don't think we had any recently in the last year or so, but
well, we got to return the favor. That's all there is to it.
yeah, I've been down there twice. I've played in the Carolina Classic
It's a beautiful
twice.
hit and roll from the Misfits. Very, very nice. That is their second Matt's doing. So they are in the command center here. 2 shots counting, both of them sort of buried. You know, there's a little bit showing on each.
And it looks like he's calling for a freeze to that here.
I wonder how much this is going to curl. He's giving
He's
it
not
a bit of a
lot
broom.
I thought he gave it not a whole lot of ice for a freeze, but
It's over curling now.
yeah, it looks like it may be a little light. I know we can't. You can't see it on the screen yet, but
Here it comes. Yeah, they know. They knew
There it
early
is.
that this was going to be trouble.
yeah.
All right. Well, they should have maybe kept on it, get that stone more out of the way, or it's going to be a problem. James Mantia weighing in. Says Carl's team from last year and the Cool Duck had the lead and the second from Triangle. Well, there you go. These Triangle guys are everywhere.
Oh, okay. Was Carl here? Was Carl in the Cool Duck last year? I thought he aged out a couple of years ago, but I could be wrong.
This looks like a good line from Team Misfits. The question is how much weight is it and where he is going to promote his red stone. And if he comes up short, okay. I thought maybe he was going to come back and push that, but that's fine too. He's covered up any chance that they can take it out with takeout weight. So essentially, that shot has moved the entire game to the other side of the target area. It's gonna be a race to the button now. Red is sitting 3. Madison
With
needs
hammer,
something
so
to
they
happen.
need to get something in. And
They
this,
need rocks in play.
They're gonna.
He's gonna wick
this
and
is-
roll, wick and roll. Ooh.
No, and this is going to go through. So big chance here for
Oh, boy.
for the Misfits. If they can put one top 12, or even he looks like he's even calling a guard.
Yeah, that was a tough miss. I mean, it would have been
Yeah.
nice to get one of those out of there, but and then roll under. You know,
Yeah.
kind of a 2-for-1 shot. It looked like that's what he was calling, but it was a risky shot, and they flashed.
Yeah.
So now,
Would you call for a guard here or a
no,
little biter?
I put it in.
I'd go
12
for,
foot.
Yeah, I'd go. Half 12, or even just a biter.
Stones away. This is
With
Justin's throw, and it looks like it is going to be
Sweepers
close.
jump on it now to keep it. They do get it by that guard. It is a little
Oh,
deeper.
I got it. Okay, now I need it to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. It does give a bit of a pocket to Madison, though, and if they were able to put one in there, perfect.
Then it's trouble.
That's 2 stones at least that Misfits are going to need to get that out of there. Big shot for Madison to save the end.
Yeah. So if they don't do something here, they're looking at a possible 5 spot.
Yeah, that would be horrendous.
This.
Stones away, they're
saying
not
weight's
touching it.
close. It looks a little hot to me. Unless I can't tell the line, they're in my way. Yeah, that's going to be hot.
It's not through. That's 2 flashes for Madison. This is getting from bad to worse. They could still save it, but they need a break.
I think it may be out counting that biter that they have, so it may only be 3 now that the Misfits are sitting.
Hard to tell.
It is hard to tell from this angle.
Misfits are already released their next shot.
John, do we have the overhead to see if that back yellow is out counting the red biter?
That's close. Oh, look at that. They are really hammering on this one. Josh is pushing.
And that's going to be hard. That's a big error. Thank you, John. So yes, that back yellow is out counting red's biter. So it is a 3 for red currently. And another chance for Madison.
Dickinson's first, Skip. So they can actually, if you can just get 1 in there, limit the damage. You know, both teams have missed some opportunities. That's curling, right? You get opportunities during the game, and you gotta make more than you miss.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a well-played game.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the miss on that last shot was to be a little bit light, but not.
They had a lot of room.
Yeah, but you still got to get it over that hog line. That's
all right. They are sweeping this heavy, and
this is actually looking pretty good.
Looks like he's got to curl it.
Yeah,
curl it.
Maybe. Well, they are.
He's shot
in for shot temporarily, but it should be pretty open hit.
80%. Go right back down.
What do you do if he hits and rolls over the button here? That's make life hard for the Wisconsin team.
And you can see that that broom is dead center of the stone, so I imagine this is going to have some heat.
This is Josh Wade coming up here.
Yeah.
Yep.
It does have some heat.
Sparks coming off of that stone.
Question is it on target? And no, and it removes.
He's got
one of his
There.
own.
Hold light. Maybe a tiny bit plus. That's line. That's line. John, finish. Yep. John, always John.
Unplanned bonus. So now they bring that biter back into play.
Back 4, back 8.
If you're the Madison team, yeah, either corner freeze to that one on the 4-foot or bury it for second shot behind those corners. I mean, I think if you can limit them to 2, maybe you're satisfied at this point.
Yeah. They're not touching this.
No, they seem to like the weight.
It looks.
Now they're
Settle down. He's gonna push it over.
yeah, it's pretty much the same spot as the last one.
Oh boy. All
So
right.
this could be a hit and stick for 4, which would be
It's
a
not,
huge end compared to what we've seen so far.
yeah, it's been a very tight game. This could
This could really open
change
things up.
So while Josh is getting ready for the all-important shot here, I can report that Duck Ness has gotten 1 in the 5th, so they've given back the hammer in the all-important 6th end to Schenectady or Bucks County. And here comes Josh's shot. Hang on a minute.
And the sweepers are not touching this one either.
Looks like he is.
And this looks a
giving
little
this
wide.
lot of heat.
This may be. Oh my goodness!
He missed.
So it's
going to be one for
one
Madison.
yellow.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
You know, one of the hard things about the big weight is to keep your line.
Yep. Missed opportunity there for the Misfits.
So that is a steal for Madison, and a steal in the 6th end,
Giving
which
them a
means
2-point
they have
lead.
lost. The Misfits have lost the edge in the end number. So I would say they've got to definitely score in the 7th. You know, blank is off the table. You know, hopefully they get their 2,
And then a steal
and then
in
a
the
steal
8th.
in the 8th. That could have really turned the game around. I mean, he
Yep.
missed that by what, 2 inches? So
I think maybe well, I
It
think
was
2 inches
close.
he would have at least removed the yellow and rolled out.
yeah.
You know, he needed probably 6 or 8 inches to hit and stick.
Yeah, that was close. Anyway, getting back to the other sheets, sheet C is finishing up their 5th end.
5th end, and that game is still tied, of course.
Looks like yellow is out counting that red one in the back 4. Yellow's shot is away, and given the high heat on this, it looks like he's trying to chip.
Oh, this looks really hot and wide, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to our feature match. The perfect guard, nearly perfect, almost on the center line by Madison. They're up 5-3 now. They have a chance to really shut the door here this end if they can string together a few good shots. And I would really love it if Misfits can play off this corner guard. This guy's throwing up some good corner guards. It'd be nice to use it.
I'm surprised Madison didn't go in and attempt to blank this end.
Well, it's only up
Yeah.
2.
Well, they're up
It's-
2.
Yeah, it's a hard
I guess
decision.
they don't. Well, that's true. They don't have hammers, so. Or, you know, come in and try and get them to chase and play for 1. And then take a 1-point lead with hammer to the 8th.
The shot is away. This looks like he's going to come around the corner guard here and beat Josh to that spot. And now he's throwing up a guard. That's. I think he's in the 12.
Hard to tell from.
But anyway, it's pretty good because if they hit it, they're not going to be counting.
Well, looking at the overhead in the warm room, it looks like it's outside. So
So you can't hit it yet.
no.
I like this call. He's going to come around the outside. They know earlier in the game that there is curl there, but they also should remember to throw this heavy enough, and that, you know, being on the deep side is okay. So we will see what Tom is able to do here. That's going to be light. It looks like they're on it already. Hard for the leads to throw a big weight when they've been throwing guards the whole game. This is a tough shot for anybody, especially the lead position.
Now here you see Austin Binish in the hack, getting ready for his shot. You see he does have the matching shirt. And it does take a while to get shirts like that made, so
I think you got to talk to them and figure out who they know.
something tells me
They got the Statue of Liberty on the back too.
they may have
They went all in.
something tells me they may have known he was on this team a little more than a week prior to the spiel.
Perhaps. That's a nice little shot there. He pushed both of those stones in play. Very, very good. There is a little bit of a port there. Little. And I'm wondering, given how they are down 2, whether now isn't the time to try to fit one through there. Doesn't like the way these are lining up for him.
This one's got a lot of weight behind it.
Yeah, these guys throw heavy.
Will he?
Might get all three here. It's just the one.
Yeah.
So that one on the right-hand side of your screen is in the house. The other one is short. And it looks like Dickinson is going to try to curl around that guard stone. Looks like Boston is coming back again. They got one in the fifth after giving up that four spot in the fourth end. So it's going to be Nisky Business with the Nisky Business does not have the hammer here in the sixth end.
Ashley wants to know if anyone finds out their shirt company to let her know. Glad to see you made it home safely, Ashley. She was just here this morning.
It looks like Misfits are going to try to hit their way out of this. They're going for this shot stone. Maybe they get a roll under cover. This is curling in nicely, but I think it's too heavy to stick around. And it won't. All right, Jeff, I really think they got to make a move here and start throwing some draws.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think hit for hit's gonna.
They are definitely not out of this. They are right there. If they get two here, it's anyone's game.
Yep. Even a one here for.
Well, then they got to steal.
Madison, and then they have to steal for a tie, and then
they got to
steal
steal
the extra
again.
end. Yeah, so
you really need two in this end right now. Madison's making it tough on him. If this comes around,
they get around that guard. They're around the guard.
Well, they're going to push it in. They're going to push it in,
and they're going to get a little split there.
I think all three of those are in.
I think they are now.
Yep. So that port that they had earlier is now closed, and he pretty much has to hit.
He's going for the crotch double here, it looks like.
Yeah, that was a nice little shot by Madison. Very creative.
This one's looking pretty good. I think they're going to get this. Yeah.
Very, very good shot.
Yep.
Always nice when those work out. Those are harder than they seem.
Yeah.
Looking over at sheet C, or A, this is a really incredible game over here. Yellow is counting directly behind two red stones, and red is up. And there's a lot of crap up front there. Can I say crap? I just did.
I think we can. I don't know that the FCC has jurisdiction over YouTube, do they? Even if they do, I think you can say crap on TV nowadays.
That's three now. So Madison has removed that red stone. That's what they're concentrating on. Get as many red out of the way as possible. Their job is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I'm taking a peek at the comments here. They're trying to figure out the company that made the shirts that the Dickinson team is wearing. There is a company name on the back of them. Just below the neck. I just can't quite read it from here.
Just ask him.
Yeah, we'll see when they come off the ice.
Oh, what a beautiful shot on sheet C. Holy smokes. Look at that. They curled around the high guard, ran into their three guard, and pushed that stone onto the button, just out counting the yellow. What a shot. Duck, duck, Ness. They are just throwing haymakers when they really need it. All right, so red has come up short yet again, and now those staggered stones there, Jeff, look to be a lot of trouble. They're going to try to draw around. I don't know where you leave this. Do you try to bury it, or do you leave it it open. I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind burying one there.
Really put the
actually. Pressure on.
Yeah, leave it up high, maybe on the 12-foot open. Then they draw around. Oh, it's hard to see where to leave it.
I mean,
they've been deep though most of the game on these shots, and we'll have to see if they can get the timing down.
I think with the Misfits having hammer, I think I would bury this and put the pressure on them to make them outdraw it.
Well, this could be a key moment here.
And you know, the plan B is to be light, of course.
It's not in your screen yet, but they're not really sweeping, and they're pushing it. They're pushing it over.
Yeah, it's definitely not light. This may be all this. Yeah, this may be through.
It's biting.
Yeah, it's just hanging on in the back 12.
That was a good opportunity for them, and let's see if the Misfits can take advantage. This is where Josh has got to find that draw weight. I think he's thrown maybe one draw the whole game.
Yeah, he's been throwing what we here at Ardsley call fireplace weight. That's because if the stone were to continue on through the boards into the warm room, about 50 feet away is a fireplace.
Oh my gosh, this sheet C game is crazy. He just ran back a high guard, straight back, nailed the red stone out of play. Just incredible. And yellow is actually counting now still, but my gosh.
On sheet C.
Sheet A.
Sheet A. I was going to say, I think you may be looking at the wrong sheet. But
yeah, everything's backwards here.
Yeah.
Sheet A. So I think it's yellow.
So that,
yellow getting
it's
their
yellow?
one. I think that one on the.
Oh yeah.
So Josh has played his first. It is a draw, although it is deep, and Dickinson has a chance to put one on top.
It looks like they're measuring on sheet A, so
that's gonna be close. We'll report on that, but right now Dickinson has a real chance here. Having trouble with this line. Everything's deep. Yeah, I think you're the only one that calls it fireplace weight, Jeff.
No, I've heard other people say that.
One other person? This looks like it's wide as well.
So on sheet A, it was red that was counting.
Wow, great end.
So
two Hummers by Jake Ness,
yeah,
pulling that out of the fire. Oh, Madison has missed. They flashed.
So good opportunity now for the Misfits.
This really has been a game of missed opportunities. You know,
yeah,
both teams have had a chance to knock the other team out, and either because the ice is confusing or what have you, curling. Basically.
I wonder if
they haven't been able to make the one shot that it takes to really close the door. You know, Josh can get right back in this right now, tied, if he can put this anywhere in the 8-foot.
And it's away, and I think it looks heavy.
He's got backing on that yellow stone. If he hits that yellow stone and stays in,
I think he's going to need that backing.
I think he's going to get it. Sweep. Sweep. All right.
Well, actually,
you know what?
He made it anyway.
He got it done. So this is exciting. We're tied up. Madison will have the hammer in the 8th and final end. The winner goes to the national championship for 5 and under. Boy, this is a barn burner, huh?
Yeah, well, this is what we want in our A event final.
Scores sheet C, red, which is the Boston team, are up. They got one in the 5th, and the They're up 5-4 over Nisky Business. Sheet A is just beginning their end, as are we, and they are up on Bucks County 5-4 as well.
They're just beginning their 7th end on Sheet A, so they're a little bit
they're behind.
Behind Sheet B, but ahead of Sheet C.
Yeah, they've had some incredible ends over there on Sheet A, so I'm sure
and
that's why they're behind.
As has been pretty much the case all game on Sheet C, a lot of rocks in play in that guard zone.
I'd say our game has had some opportunities missed, 1 or 2 makes, but the game has been well called, and I think either one of these teams is very deserving to win. But this is the end. This is it. Muller's.
So it's a very high guard.
Yeah, that is in play, barely.
Barely, yeah. I mean, from here, from the warm room, it doesn't look it, but obviously from straight overhead, it must be just over the hog line.
So this is interesting. So they are coming in here, which I think is the right call, given that high guard, and they're going to put the pressure right away on Josh. And is he going to hit? And if he does that, then all it is a draw for 1 and the win. But he's not falling for it. He is going to draw in or maybe throw up a guard himself.
I think he wanted the guard here.
A very good call from Dickinson to pull that one in.
Yep. And, a good job by Josh not to fall into that trap. That's not the way to steal.
All right, this looks like it's going to be pretty good weight for a guard. Probably a 2, maybe 2.5.
Yep, and pretty much
right where he called it.
Right where he called it, yeah.
All right, so that's got to feel good from their lead to get that one done. This might be his last shot, depending on how the end goes.
Yeah.
But probably is. So he's got to feel good about his week, coming in last minute and getting the job done. So thank you, Tom. This is, they're saying it's wide. And I think they're going to promote.
On that? Up there, got by that guard.
Promote the red one in. That is not terrible. Pretty good shot from Madison. Maybe not what they wanted, but they removed a troublesome stone and they put it behind the tee line. That helps them a lot. So much so that Josh is going to try to put it right back. Yeah. I think that red stone is counting.
Yeah, it looks like it is from here.
So that might come into play. I'll have to keep an eye on that. So you stare at that stone the rest of the time.
I will not take my eyes off it unless it gets hit.
All right. So this is Applesauce is first, and he is coming around.
This one looks a little hotter than
they're going to come around.
So this is probably going to be buried under that very high guard and get most of the 4 foot, I believe. Yes.
Okay, well, that was a fortunate miss.
Yep, so now they're going to have to peel that high guard.
That actually really worked out for them. They put that high guard right back into play, and now yellow's got to waste a stone to remove it. These peels are always so hard for me. I flash a lot of these. But not him. He just nailed it.
He got that.
And got the yellow stone out. That's a perfect shot. 5 stars. All right, so it's red sitting 2. Both are open.
And so
guess what?
Like
He is going to clog everything up again.
Guard that up again.
This is their second shot.
to be
They're not touching
a
it.
little heavy. This may be a
Freeze.
little closer than they wanted to the rock, because
All right. Well, you know what? That's not bad. That's going to be hard to.
it's going to be hard to double. So
The way they're lined up there, just a little staggered makes it really hard to get both. If they hit it just off of the nose, they could stick around behind cover and get both of these out. Could. Tough shot.
there's a big jam possibility. And this looks to be
He's going to get
a
one.
little bit wide, so it only got the one. Yeah.
So
Try and put that back, I assume, but a little higher. No.
what's he doing?
Looks like.
Oh,
Oh no,
there it
yeah,
goes.
okay. So
This is going to, yeah, it looks less weight.
yeah, I was going to say, let's see if he makes the adjustment to the weight.
Mr. Canfield is going to be deep
Actually,
again.
yeah, it doesn't look much different. In fact, this may actually be a little more. Yeah, this
I
is
thought he
right
came
on
up
it.
light, but not
Well,
so
it's
much.
actually
It's
pretty
exactly
much
where it
locked
was.
on. It's actually, this one's frozen to it, I think.
This one actually might be easier to double them.
You think, oh yeah, they're not quite frozen. It did bump a little bit.
And hopefully they know where to put the broom and he can hit it. He could still roll under cover and get it. Well, I'd probably get the back one out.
And here it comes. This is going to jam. And I
That's
think, yeah.
fine. That's very good. Very, very
But-
good. Red is still counting, but remember, yellow
has the hammer.
They have the hammer. They only need to get one. So as long as the middle is open for a draw, yellow's got a huge advantage. So Josh, I know, is cognizant of this and has to keep gumming everything up. He's still shot stone.
And he really wants to keep that one to minimize the scoring area as much as possible and force Dickinson to have to draw to as tight a spot as he can. But with those yellows on the other side of the 4 foot, he does have something he can come down to and roll off of into the 4 foot.
Shot is coming down. It looks like
This one
guard
looks
weight and
much
it's
better on the
going
weight.
to be a little off center. So there will be an opportunity for Madison to draw the button. And if they get full 4, they will also be out counting.
This rock. If he does remove this rock, then Madison will be shot stone.
That was a great second shot by Canfield there. Really good. The shot's away. They are trying to keep it straight.
And he just just caught the edge of that guard. Ticked it to the back 4.
All right, so Red's still won, but they're behind the button now. And you know what, Jeff? Same old story. You got to just keep gumming up the middle and hoping for another miss like that. That's
Looks like that's what he's calling. Like, yeah, he's coming going to use the other side of the sheet now. And
you can't cover everything. He's still
Yeah.
got the draw on the other side, but he's going to at
But-
least cover this side because, and I like this because
Yeah.
the red stone is on this side.
right, so he's preventing them from using that as backing as much as he's able to.
All right, Canfield holding the broom. And Josh is first.
And the weight this time looks a lot better than than what he's been throwing most of the game.
This so-called fireplace weight that
Yes.
you mentioned, that I've never
Yes.
heard anyone say ever.
Oh, sure you have.
This is light,
Well,
but it's in the way.
it's a guard, so.
Yeah. All right. That's a big money shot from Josh. You know, you got to make that, and he did.
It looks like they're talking about still trying to come around it, though.
Yeah.
So maybe it is high. It is high enough that if they can get a strong finish, they could get buried under it right in that 4 foot, and then
They also have their own stones
It's
to
trouble.
rebound off of.
yes,
So even if they're wide,
yep, wide or a little heavy, they still could roll in off their own.
so hopefully they talked about this, but heavier is better than lighter.
Yes.
I mean, you're throwing a draw weight, but you've got all that backing there, so you might as well err on the heavy side.
Yep. Here you definitely don't want to close off that path for your next shot if you need it.
All right, key shot. Dickinson's first. Madison has hammer. Let's see if he can bury this.
And this is looking pretty good. I think this may tick their own and roll in, maybe. Oh, it's just going to settle there.
Can we tell if that's open? I don't think it is. If he hits it.
I think it hits. I think it is going to take out the zone. Ness. I mean,
If you can't really run it back, they're still going to.
I mean, if he hits it with enough,
Oh, man. This
Wait.
is coming right down to the wire. I really.
can he roll it off of the other yellow hard enough to roll it all the way across and out of the 4 foot?
Or he could just come the other way and draw.
Draw through that port between the yellow and the red.
Yeah, and out count him. But he'd have to get full red and maybe a piece of the button to do that.
Yeah.
I think he thinks he can hit. He might be able to get both of those yellows out if he. But you know what? That guard is in the way.
That's true. There is that high guard out there.
Canefield's trying to tell him to run the guard back. I don't know about that.
I don't know. That's a long run back.
And then you're opening up the middle. Wow. What would you do here, Jeff?
I'd call timeout, call out the coach, say, what do we do here?
Consult with the duck.
Yeah. Which we still don't have a name for, by the way.
Yeah, that's all right. Next year.
That's,
You know, if he draws down to it, Jeff, and just pushes it back a little bit,
pushes that yellow.
the one that they just threw, the one that Madison just threw.
Yeah.
He's counting, I think.
I don't know.
All he needs to do is tap it back and roll over like an inch.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what Madison does. They'd have to draw the other side. I think.
Yeah,
I
if
think
he
that's
can-
what if I was pressed, that was what I would do.
Yeah, if he can get to the inside of that and roll in, he'll tap that back and out a little. Now he's looking at a run back on that, on the
this is even
tighter
harder.
guard.
That's
Yeah,
even
that's
harder. If the plan B for me would be to draw on the other side. I don't know if anyone's watching has any thoughts. Maybe type them in now. That we're not seeing.
Yeah, I mean, none of the options are great here.
I still like drawing down to that yellow
Yeah, I think trying to get to the in. I think you're right. Get to the inside of that yellow. Try to roll in.
Because if he draws the other side, he has to bury it, and he
Right.
hasn't really been there yet. And I don't think.
Yeah, he hasn't had the great draw weight today. And he has.
Remember, this is his last shot. This is it.
Right.
If he's not counting, it's
and
over.
It's over. Yeah.
It's over.
He's going for the run. It looks like. I think that's what he decided on.
Oh, this is so tough. So tough.
Jim Mantia likes
A little tap.
a little tap. You mean
Yeah, tapping off
the one we're
yellow.
talking about, tapping the yellow
Yeah, I think so.
on the inside, rolling the shooter in?
All right. Well, the shot is called.
Yep.
Josh is back in the hack, and he has to believe he can make this.
Yeah. Well, that's what we think here too, Jim. But they've decided on the run back.
Ryan likes the draw. Yeah, they're both hard. This is even harder.
The problem with the draw is that the ice has been fairly straight, so we're not. I don't know that they would get that strong finish they would need.
Shot is off.
To bury it.
All right, for the game. And a chance to go to the 5 and under national championship.
Yep. So his weight is down. I don't think this is going to do it. No.
Madison has done it.
So that's the game, folks.
Congratulations, Madison, for winning the Ardsley 2022 Cool Duck. Free pass to the national championship. Congratulations also to Team Misfits for coming so close. Very well played game. Very happy for both of these teams, but Madison making the return trip.
Yep, so that is David Dickinson, Eric England,
Austin Benish,
and John Miller will be the team that has qualified from the Cool Duck.
Good job. Great game. So we're going to stay on air and do the other two, or okay?
Yep, we can now focus
from the boss here.
On sheet A. They're tied in the 8th here. And it looks like Duck Ness with the hammer. And currently sitting 2. It's a little early in the end still. I think this is the last of the seconds rocks.
This is also in the 8th end, and it is all tied on sheet A from Bucks County and Duck Ness.
Or this rock coming up, I believe, is the last of the seconds rocks.
And it looks like red is counting 2. We are going to hold off a little bit on sheet C since they're a half an end behind. We will get them solo coming home. That game is also tight. Here comes red shot. It looks like they're going to draw to the other side of the house.
Yep, looks like they're going to sit out in the open there in the 12-foot. Not a bad shot.
And Bucks needs to remove something stat.
Yep. Oh. He's going to try and.
I think you do a 2-for-1 here. Maybe hit and roll under.
Yeah, he called the draw. He called the draw through that port to try and bury behind those 3. So the applause you hear in the warm room is for our feature game coming off the sheet.
We got to ask them where they got their shirts from.
Yeah, maybe we can read it now that they're in here.
Hey, good job. Thanks. We got a lot of people want to know where you got your shirts from.
We got them from a company.
What's this?
All the way live.
That's the name of it. So you can just
Google them.
yeah.
Oh, you got it on there.
Oh, all the way live. Yes. Hey, that was posted by Ardsley Curling.
That's you.
Oh, that was
I
you.
didn't even see that.
Oh, when did you do that? Okay.
All the way live. That is the
Oh, okay.
Thanks. Yeah, we're on top of things here, John. So.
All right, so we have a shot away here on sheet A. Looks like, I believe it's currently 3 red. And they just guarded the draw path that Mark was trying to use earlier. So I think Mark Stieffenhofer is looking at possibly a tap.
Well, that was such a great game on our feature game. I mean, right down to the wire. That last shot call, I mean, they were all options. They were all hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we got a little bit of everything that game.
Yeah. Good job, whoever made that draw schedule.
That was you, John, right? That was fun to watch. And this game on A, I've been kind of keeping a side eye on it here because there's been a lot of just phenomenal shot making, you know, just bailout shots.
Yeah. And on sheet
by,
A,
Nutmeg.
this shot is going to come up light. That really doesn't help Stieffenhofer. That is the opposite of what he needed.
It looks like
another guard out there.
Another guard.
And it looks like Jake is looking at junking it up a little more now. Rethinking that.
What he's got that cat shirt going there.
He's got cat shirt and cat pants. Yes.
I feel woefully underdressed when I come to the curling club, and I've only got a couple colors on.
I usually have black and black.
Yeah, well, you're a New Yorker. That's the law. The cat thing would not go on me. I'm anti-cat. Shots away.
So Jake looking for just a little biter here. And they're sweeping hard just to get this across the hog line. And they'll get it to about a 2 guard, yeah.
Yeah, that helps. Well, Bucks is they have some options here, Jeff, and they're all pretty good. They're all makeable. He could hit this yellow stone that he's looking at right now.
That's what he's looking at and rolling it in.
And knock the red one out of the way, the one that is off to the side of it, and roll right into the center and be totally, completely buried.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's looking at.
He's got other options, too. This double run back
Double
is there.
tap, yep. That.
It's a plethora of choices.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that double run puts him shot just yet, but
John is
it certainly sets him
watching
up.
sheet C. What happened, John?
I think yellow, Nisky Business just picked up 4 in the 7th end.
Oh
my
well,
gosh.
that's a big.
So a little bit of a turnaround over there.
Wow.
No, that's not.
That is
So
yellow.
that would be a 2-point game.
Well, that was more than
it was
4.
5.
It was 5.
Wow. So that means.
That means they got to get 4 to tie.
So now they need
Yeah,
3
the
to
North
tie, 3 to
End-
tie, 4 to win.
North End Curling Club.
That is incredible. I mean, North End was running the show here, and then they give up a 4 and then a 5.
Wow.
Oh, that stings.
That's heartbreaking.
That stings.
And it looks like we're going to have a throw through here, of course.
Yeah, throw them all through. Meanwhile, Bucks is still talking about what to do here. I kind of like their first option.
Yeah, I think that's what Mark really likes that call.
Yeah, I found that when the skip is dialed in on something, you just say okay.
Yeah, I
Don't give him any other ideas.
Thinking that maybe Ben isn't sold on the shot. I'm not sure.
Yeah. They're doing it. Wow, I wish wish I was watching that sheet C for that 5. Have to play back the tape.
Yeah. Well, luckily these games are all saved on YouTube, so anyone who's watching who played this weekend, you can re-watch yourselves. And this is going to come right through the hole.
Right through. I don't
wow.
even know how he did that.
I didn't think that was possible. But
that doesn't help him.
Doesn't really help, no. He is second shot now. With the shot rock being behind the tee line, but I don't know.
Keep in mind.
And he does have a pretty open double tap up on those 2 yellows.
Red has hammer, so the yellow has a lot of tap up options here.
Yeah.
To do this steal. So I still like yellow's position, even though that was man, I couldn't do that 20 times. Chances I'd probably do that once.
Mm-hmm. And I think Jake Ness is attempting to guard against this double promote. And it looks...
Going to stop?
I think it may just touch, but I think that's good because...
That's really good.
Yeah, the way they're staggered, that's...
I mean, he could just... push
he could push it a little bit. I think he could still
with draw weight. He can push, but I think if you do that, there's going to be no, because his shot stone's going to be in the way.
Yeah.
So this is there.
Yep. You hit that. I think that back yellow goes right into the shot rock.
They are rifling through stones now in sheet C. So we basically need 3 stones in play if you are Boston.
Yep, and they've got 1 guard out there now. Is this their second rock?
This is the first rock from the second.
So they must have...
There's one in the back.
Did they hog one or throw through? Would they?
They threw one through, and the first one went through.
Ooh. That's a bad miss when you need a guard.
All right, this one's coming around.
Coming in.
That's good. Good. Do that 3 more times.
Yeah, looks like it is still pretty open.
Well, you know what? They still got to make the shot.
Good, I guess he's trying to take it out.
Yeah.
Still got to make these. All right, over on sheet A, looks like Bucks is set, and they are going to do what we thought they were going to do.
They're going to try this triple
raise dealio, and I like this shot because there's a lot of room for error here. You don't have to hit the red stone perfectly.
Right.
So takeout on C was successful, and the yellow also rolled out their shooter.
Oh boy!
So still a clean house.
Going to end soon here for Boston if they're not careful.
That is not looking good for them here. And Mark's shot did exactly what we...
Oh, you know what? He ran it into that back red one, and now they are counting 1, 2.
2, I think.
2.
Yeah. So...
I didn't think he was going to throw it that hard. I thought he was just going to punch it up a little, but he wailed on it and got that back red one out. But in response, now Jake has a promote. That's pretty wide open. Remember, though, that Jake has the hammer, so it would be good to keep the middle open as much as possible and give himself a draw. But hell, Jeff, if he makes this, it just punches it back into the 8-foot. That's pretty good.
Yep,
and Bucks has that funny group of yellow ones there in the front, but I don't think they're lined up well for him to be able to promote anything.
I don't think they're going to get enough of that one in the 8-foot to really do much with it.
Oh, there's a nice double there on sheet C. I stole John's thunder there, but
Yeah, I didn't think you were watching Sheet C,
watching everything.
but there was a nice double on Sheet C.
Yeah, it might be the ball game. That was really good.
I think they have 4 rocks left. This is now into Vice, first Vice rock.
So here's Jake Ness's shot.
This looks like a lot of weight.
Sweepers trying to push it over.
I might get sloppy lucky here. Nope.
And it's going to wreck and just not help at all.
Did he line up bucks for a promote there?
I
don't think
don't
so.
think so.
Well, you know what? He could hit that yellow stone and it could rebound behind the red one, but I don't know if it's going to be deep enough to count. I like this. He looks like he's going to call a draw for himself. This is his last, so he has to count. I think he's 1 right now, and if he pulls this off, he will have guarded up that draw path for Jake.
I think that's his call, is to guard.
Jake would be left with just that promote there on that guard red rock, a hard shot.
Yep, and Jake is going to need a sliver of the 4-foot.
So another game down to the wire
right
here.
now.
This is a big moment here.
And another successful hit on C. So
running out of stones.
They're running out of rocks. They need all 3 of these to count to send it to an extra end. So Stieffenhofer's looks a little heavy. Now they're sweeping to bring it back.
Oh, he took himself out.
Took himself out and rolled further out. So he may have opened the door here for a nutmeg.
He's still counting, but that stone is open.
But now it's much more open than before.
So we're looking at a straight draw here for the win.
With backing.
Bucks counts 2. Doesn't matter if he makes this, though. He makes it, he wins.
And I'm pretty sure Mark had called a guard for himself, so obviously misjudged the weight on that one.
Well, you know, this game is hard.
Yeah.
It's his last shot of the tournament. He's
like
thrown probably 4,000 stones this weekend, you know.
It's like a sheet of ice out there, too, so.
All right, here's Jake for the win.
And you can't see this yet. The sweeper's on it, holding it, trying to hold it straight.
They are screaming.
And are they by the guard?
They are past the guard.
Yes, and down to the back. And Jake Ness with the shot for the win.
Wow, beautiful shot, Jake. Okay, so that's Nutmeg winning over on Sheet A. Sheet C is totally controlled by Nisky Business. And I think, John, are they out of stones?
Not yet.
They're not yet out of stones,
yet.
and yellow first. Skip Rock just flashed on the 1 red that's in the top of the 12-foot.
All right. Heart's still beating.
So still got 2 reds to count, 1 yellow stone left.
So we've got our A event winners and runners-up. We've got our B event winners as Duck Ness from Nutmeg. And the B event runners-up are the Stieffenhofer team from Bucks County. And we already told you about the D event earlier this morning, so all we have left to settle is the C here on Sheet C.
And we either have 3 more stones to throw.
Or 1.
Or 1.
Or 1, or possibly 2.
Or possibly another end.
Right, or possibly 2. He could make a draw and then a hit.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is not going to be an extra end, but we will see.
Stranger things have happened. This is a 5 and under.
That's exactly what we need, is an extra end in our C event final.
I got to say, Jeff, everything seemed to be pretty much on schedule most of the weekend.
Oh, you must not have watched Friday.
You weren't here on Friday.
Okay, never mind. I was drinking on Friday.
We were, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour behind most of the day Friday.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a late start in the morning, and then we had an extra end game, another extra end game.
And a little bit of slow play.
We had some slow play, yeah.
Well, I did thank everybody at the top of the broadcast, but it bears repeating to thank Jeff. You great job. Stefan as well.
Thank
all
you,
the people
yes,
that helped out. John doing all the controls here and all of the food prep. And Dave Schrull and Tim Klein, I don't think they went home.
No, in fact, they're still here. They were the ice crew for most of the weekend.
I think they have a nest underneath the compressor in the basement.
They must. They worked their tail off.
And thanks, Nick Beaton did a lot of work here this weekend and was extremely helpful to us with food prep and setup, and of course the beer as well. And
I saw.
Thanks to Matt Shiner, who came up yesterday to run our special warm room event.
So Miss Keegan here.
And
Amy
this
Constantino
is
here.
going to
And I think that does it for the game.
flash, and that's going to do it on sheet C.
I think they've realized that as well.
Yes, they realize that they
Shaking
can't.
hands.
Thanks everybody for watching.
I guess they're going to leave those two rocks down at the other end for us.
I guess so. Somebody will take them down eventually.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
So, the C event winners, Nisky Business from Schenectady, and the runners-up are 1F by Steel, 2F by Hammer from the North End Curling Club in Boston, Massachusetts.